Hey everyone, just wanted to show you a really great massage in profile view. I'm working on my lovely student here. There are all kinds of perks when you get to work one-on-one with me, so getting a really awesome massage is one of them. I'm just spreading out the lotion here. I'm going to talk you through some of the massage modalities and movements and encourage you to follow along when you get a chance. This particular massage, I'm kind of emphasizing a little bit more on the tools that we have in our tool chest, one of which is the massage modality. You can choose effleurage motions, which are those light, longer strokes like I'm doing here, the circles and the kneading motion, which is petrissage. You could do friction, tapotement, vibration, all kinds of modalities. But you also have a couple other tools in your tool chest, and one of them is pressure and the other one is speed. So this is a slower massage. It is meant to take up a good portion of your facial. Sometimes we have clients and they don't need 10, 15 minutes of steam and extraction, so you're stuck with a really long massage. Here I'm starting on the décolleté, working across, and notice how I go around the shoulders, up the trapezius muscle in the back, all the way up to that occipital ridge. Sometimes newer students don't commit to that full roundabout the shoulder, so take it all the way around the shoulder and up the back of the neck. In this instance, I'm using both hands to complete this circle where we kind of start at the center of the sternum, we go across, down around the shoulder, up the back of the neck, and I'm just kind of doing them one after the other to really relax the client. If you want your client to feel like they're leaving on a cloud, one of the coolest things to do is really massage that neck area. So I am ironing out the décolleté area, going around the shoulder and up the back of the neck. One of the best things to remember is that your client's head moves, so move it so you can get to certain areas and really get them nice and relaxed. All of your motion should be very fluid and not choppy. So if you notice, you haven't seen both of my hands come off at the same time. At some point, one hand is at least touching the client. It's really important to help relax them, but also for continuity in touch. Now I'm gonna turn her in just a minute, and I do that gently, not quickly, and I really just kind of guide her. If I go down both sides of the head, the client will automatically kind of move so that you can be accommodated as you're going across the décolleté area. Here I go up the other side. If you notice, I kind of gently pushed her head to the side. And it's hard to tell with this movement, but my right hand is doing a big circle. If you notice, I'm going up the back of the head, down the neck, across the décolleté, around the shoulder, up the back of the neck. And I'm doing this one round motion with my right hand. And then my left hand actually comes off of the client, down on the chest, around the shoulder, up the neck. And then it comes off the client and it completes that loop again. Really cool move. Your client will not know how many hands you have. It's pretty confusing for them to figure out how you're doing this. Everything nice and fluid, long movements, and slow. I'm moving slow. Okay, I've got a 10-15 minute gap to fill in a facial, which means that I am moving at a snail pace. All right, now I'm going to eventually work my way up to the face. So before I do that, I'm kind of finishing up the décolleté area. Again, nice little effleurage motions. When I go down across the chest, I'm actually pushing rather hard. I want to push that shoulder down toward her toes. Push down, around, push down, around. All right, working my way up to the jawline. I'm going to kind of reestablish some of the slip all over the client's face. Also, that lovely towel that comes undone. Going to go ahead and readjust that sucker. Notice I didn't take my hands off the client to do that. All right, re-emulsifying, and I'm just gonna glide up, reestablish slip all over their face. Circles always work beautifully. If you are out of things to do, big circles around the eyes always feel wonderful. This is my little half attempt at the vibration. I don't like vibration as my favorite modality, but sometimes I do use it just to kind of loosen things up a little bit. I'm going from prayer hands into vibrations, and I'm working my way from chin toward ear. As we do in our school, we work with drainage motions, and so we're just kind of loosening up the jaw, and we're pulling that skin nice and tight. These are my little crabby claws coming in here. I'm trying to pinch the muscle off the bone, release some of that fascia, that connective tissue. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it can cause us to have lines or wrinkles or dimples unnecessarily. So I'm just pulling that muscle right off the bone, and I'm working my way again from chin to ear, working my little crabby claws. Again, if you notice my speed, I'm working on the slower side. I'm keeping everything symmetrical. What I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other side. Really important. Little pinches, little crabby claws. I am a Cancer after all, so you know how we like our little crabby claws. Okay, working my knuckles, working upward, pulling that muscle, pulling the skin. I'm working rather deep, doing my little pinches. Again, always working chin to ear, chin to ear. Get a little water, reestablish. Notice if you have to take your hands off your client, you do so very gently. Here I'm working in the cheekbone area. Again, circles are your best friends. You ever run out of something to do, circles is where it's at. Okay, this move is one continuous move done by my left hand. It's just doing a great big old circle around her orbicularis oculi, and then my right hand is getting picked up, moving across, and then set back down here. Really nice and relaxing. Again, working with two hands in tandem like that, your client's not really going to know how many digits you have. It's going to feel like you just have hands everywhere. This move is an eminence move. I'm using her under her cheekbones almost as like little pivot points, and then my palms are pushing down on her frontalis muscle, and I'm pushing from brows backward. You can do little circles like I just did there, or like big McDonald's arches. This is a really nice way to kind of iron out drain sinuses, drain pressure. Coming up the sides of the nose. Just remember when you're working on the nose that sometimes your clients can't breathe because you're clogging the nose, so don't work a really long time on the nose. Here we go, big circles again. From now on, if you run out of something to do and you're doing circles, you're going to think about me. Oh, here's circles on the nose. Don't want to work too long on the nose because just in case they can't breathe. And follow that down into some pressure points. Sometimes it's nice to stop and just do a little pressure. You could do pressure under a bone. You could do pressure on top of a bone. So I am sliding across her cheekbone from nasolabial fold there to her ear and doing a great big circle and coming back and doing it again. Here's the point where pressure and speed come into play. Now I'm going on top of the bone, pushing downward, relieving some pressure. This is also a really good massage to do if you're doing a gentleman that has a beard And it's really nice if you have someone who has acne and you don't want to do a lot of effleurage motions all over their inflammation. You can do just some work around the eyes. This little guy is my favorite. I remember I learned him in school a bajillion years ago. This is doing big X's from one eyebrow bone to the other, just pulling that across. And now I'm going across both brows with these great big X's. Just pulling away all that pressure, all that tension. Now I'm doing full hand X's. And I'm going to do the full hand pullbacks. One of my favorite moves. You're pulling those brows back toward the hairline. Getting ready to wrap up your facial. Little does your poor client know. Pulling back. Slide into your little finger scissors. This is a friction move. You're creating friction with the tissue. A little pressure at the temples. And going into our prayer hands, pushing all that fluid, all that pressure out of the forehead. Nice and slow, firm movements. Down behind the ear, pull the ears down. You don't want to do a big, long, elaborate ear massage by any means. Some people take that different ways, but I do like to pull on the ears a little bit, just relieve some pressure and tension. Now we're doing the around the world. This one's a lot of fun. Just make sure you got some slip. My slip was running out, so it wasn't as graceful, but you can go around the world. Ooh, feels really nice. And pull back. Some temple work. Here we go. Pulling back toward the hairline. Release the hair. This is my $1 million move. It's yours to borrow. Make yourself that money, honey. Here we go. Push frontalis back into the scalp. Weave your fingers through their hair and pull all the way down the length of her hair. I'm going to do it in a minute. Premature in describing it. It feels so nice. Melting all those troubles away. Here we go. One hand is going to grasp the hair, gently pulling all the way down to the tips of the hair, and I push down on the sternum, give her a nice little pressure while my hand is moving all the way down her hair. This particular student has long mermaid hair, so it took me a while to get there. And then you shake it out and you rewrap their hair and finish up your facial. This has been another wonderful facial massage. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully these modalities work nicely for you. Goodbye.